Final thing, Bob, I want to talk to you a little bit about something that we talked about this last session, and when we were on the phone just the other day, you brought this up to me as well. You're a blogger, and your primary method of communication to the people that read you is obviously the internet. And but you cover the legislature, and you've been trying to get press credentials to cover more. And that's been a very difficult thing for you. It was difficult last year, in fact impossible, and this year it looks like it's not going to happen again. Explain to me what's going on and what happened.
Well, Tim, as you know, last summer, last year, I think it's changed a little bit, but last year it was the Senate President's Office that controlled the issuance of press passes for both the Senate and the House of Representatives, and then many other agencies such as the Governor's Office told me they follow along what the legislature does. So it's really a bigger issue than just the Senate. Well, the Office of the Senate President turned me down. They had also turned down KansasLiberty.com as well. But in December they came up with an application form where all media had to apply. They wanted to treat them all fairly. So the Wichita Eagle and all the TV stations and everything had to apply. And I was turned down, so I asked for a list of who was approved and who wasn't, and the only people who were turned down were me and another online operation, State of the State, KS.com, which is mostly video material.
Sure.
Over the internet as well. There are a couple new journalism organizations, Kansas Reporter and Kansas Watchdog, that haven't applied yet. They're online only and relatively new, so it'll be curious to see if they apply and what the outcome of theirs is as well. But the reason the Senate President's Office gives for turning down is lack of space on the Senate floor. And I've talked to a number of State House reporters and senators that say, you know, once in a while there's a crowd in there, but most of the time there's plenty of room for everybody. So it's a different issue, I believe, Tim, than lack of space in the floor.
And Bob, you know, when we talked about this last time, I received several emails from people on both sides, and it was kind of interesting to read them. But you know, I think there is a reality today that there are other media sources other than just the traditional sources that most people are familiar with, and such as yourself, you know, people that can do things and put them out over the internet, which is obviously a great source. And it really seems like it's an area that needs to be addressed and isn't being addressed.
Yes, I think so. You know, there is the traditional media, I think, is declining, in a period of decline, and I'm saddened by that. I mean, I don't view it as a contest between me and them, because we need more reporting up there. Like I think Randy Brown said last summer on this show, wouldn't it be great if there was so much interest in public affairs up there that there really was a space problem with people who wanted to cover? And you know, some people think that, well, bloggers are not real journalists or so forth, and I do kind of tread a line between reporting and also a lot of analysis and opinion pieces. But we definitely need some of that. And you know, the partisanship issue, I see that there's a little bit of an issue there that could be a problem. But really, I think we need more news rather than less. And so to shut out these alternative media sources from coverage of the Senate is I think it's a public policy problem.
Are there any associations or groupings for alternative media that you're aware of, or
not that I'm aware of? There is a gentleman in Kansas City, Ben Hodge, who was a former member of the Kansas State House, who has indicated maybe we should start something like this. The Kansas Press Association, I've kind of put out a feeler to them, but their application process, I think, is very much geared towards traditional media and might be quite expensive too to actually join. So those things are not quite open, I don't think, to some of the alternative media sources. So
what recourse do you have? Or do, you know, other guys like you, kind of the little guys that may not have a big company behind them and lots of attorneys and big bank accounts?
Well, first of all, there's the Kansas House. Now, I think that this year the House is kind of split apart from the Senate, and they're granting their own credentials. I've not applied there yet. I'm behind on that. I think it's a little easier at the House, so there will be an opportunity to get there. The other thing is, I think, just in the court of a public opinion, that, you know, I appeared on talk radio in Topeka yesterday talking about this. And you know, quite a few legislators and media people read my stuff, and I think that in the maybe the Senate President Steve Morris can be persuaded to change this policy somehow, and I think would be better for the state of the people of the state of Kansas.
How many are folks like you are there out there in the state of Kansas that operate a blog or something online that you know is people actually read?
Yeah, when you're talking about people who do this seriously and have a track record, it's really just a handful, and on both sides of the political spectrum. You know, one of the things the Senate President's office said last summer, they said, "Oh, Bob, anybody can start a blog," and yeah, anybody can, and most people have something to say for a week or two. But after that, you see the cyberspace is littered with these abandoned blogs. But, you know, I've been doing this for 5 years, Tim, especially since I was laid off from my software engineering through downsizing almost 2 years ago. It's really become almost a full-time effort for me. And, you know, I have posts every day, a lot of original content, focusing mostly on Wichita and Sedgwick County, but I do some things statewide, and I'd like to spend more time up in Topeka this session, but we'll just have to see what happens. So I would say, people out there, write the Senate President, Steve Morris, and call up there and say, let's have some more alternative media sources available at the Kansas State House.
You know, I think any debate is healthy, and I would agree with you on that, Bob. I think people need to see various sides. We are out of time. I appreciate you being on the program.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have for the program this evening. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please email me at kansasweek@kpts.org. Easy for me to say. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.